Like, I like how this is the problem with my voices, right? Is that they vacillate completely between two voices, right? So
Right.
it's like Foghorn Leghorn and Jimmy Stewart at the same time, and they just wave between, right? Just listen, boy, you're not a chicken, you're a great American citizen. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what are you doing, head? I'm trying to do a thing. Breaking news.
Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen.
Hot off the wire.
Yes, indeed. So, the United States House of Representatives has just passed the stimulus bill containing the $2,000 checks.
Ah, the $2,000, huh? After
Yes.
Trump signed the $600 ones. So we should be rolling in the money as well. It's maybe there's a new segment idea. Is the two dueling newsmen, right?
Yeah, I'm the modern one. I'm the guy who's currently reading the news on ABC Nightly News.
Nightly News, ABC, and then I'm the one that see, that's not how it's done. See, it's old. We've got to appeal to the hipster. See.
So, what this does is it puts the pressure on the Senate, which is currently controlled by the Republicans.
Controlled by a bunch of hogs swallowed in poppycock.
So, what
Senators
will Mitch McConnell do? Currently, Bernie Sanders is threatening to withhold his vote on the defense spending bill in order to push Mitch McConnell, hashtag bitch McConnell, to actually push the Senate to vote on it. Otherwise, he could just kill it and just let the $600 one roll, which is he might just do anyways, because at this point, I don't know. It's hard to say. Now, there's also the Georgia election at stake here. So if he's the one that costs you a net of $1,400, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I got a $600 check, but like these fucking Republicans just cost me $1,400. That's another incentive for people to vote for the Democrats in Georgia. You know what I mean?
Well, it's for whatever for couples, for married couples. That's $4,000. You just cost me $4,000, you prick. My God, dude, it's easily my favorite thing that Trump has ever. It's my favorite Trump speech ever, ever. Okay, and here's why. He said a bunch of shit where it was like, oh, on principle, if it wasn't you, certainly if it wasn't you saying this, and I didn't know you to be a fucking craven liar, I would pretty much agree with everything you just said. Right, $600 is enough. Every American should get 2,000, whatever. A couple should get 4,000. Blah blah. If Congress gives me this is the end of the speech, right? And it's my favorite fucking thing that he's ever done. Okay, by the end of the speech, he says, "Now Congress gives me a bill is like worth signing, then I'll sign it, right? But, and I believe I'm directly quoting, but if not, then I guess it's going to have to go to the next administration, pause, which might be me." End of speech. End of speech. And so I immediately had to call everybody that I knew, right, to be like, he almost made it. He almost made it. He almost made a full bunch of sentences strung together in a normal person way. He almost said something that made fucking sense. Almost. And just right at the end, right when he was about to cross the finish line, he just tripped and ate shit, knocked out all his teeth, and just, you know what I mean? Just came up just bloody faced and just nose broken because maybe, me. Yeah. What's up, Terrence?
Hey man, I don't know, man, if you heard about any of these new developments going on here, but
Man, you know I don't
I
have a TV.
oh man, you know I ain't getting none of my information from no TV, man. You know, like if you're getting your info from TV, then you're just a sheeple. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have
So,
a computer neither. So what? I just get my news from you, boy.
all right. Okay, so let me tell you what I found out. So, all right, you hear about that explosion that happened in Nashville on Christmas Day?
Well, I just heard that nobody was reporting on it, so I don't know how you would know something about it.
Well, I'll tell you what. I heard there's definitely some some like true patriots out there on the ground that are like really they're really doing their part in reporting some stuff. So here's what I found out. Okay. So
Yeah.
here's what happened. They're trying the mainstream media in the little bit that they are reporting on it. You know what I'm saying? They're saying that it's a bomb that went off inside of an RV or something like that, or an RV exploded. It was like this one white guy that did it, right? That's of
Yeah,
course
that's
that's
what I heard, sort
yeah,
of.
that likely story, right? So, anyways, here's what really happened according to some independent patriots that I know in the Nashville area. Okay, so it was actually missile attack. Okay, on the AT&T building that happened right there next to the RV, and the missile attack is likely, it's hard to say who did it exactly, but a lot of people are saying that it was the
Wait a minute,
Chinese. It was
man.
the Chinese, and it was all people are saying it was the Democrats.
All
People are
right.
saying it's the Chinese and the Democrats.
Chinese working with the Democrats shot a missile at a guy in an RV. That's what you're telling me. This is a
Well, I'm not saying.
this
Listen,
isn't you
listen,
bullshit. This is
listen.
somebody else is telling you this.
What? Well, why you got to bring? I mean, yeah. I mean, some of the Q people are saying some of this stuff. I mean, it's not. It doesn't really have anything.
I'm just asking how much of this is bit and how much of it isn't. All right. You mean tell me that human people are saying that the Chinese and the Democrats were working together to kill a guy in an RV in Nashville? Why the hell?
No. That's not the why. They don't want to kill this white guy. This white guy is he's a what do they call scapegoat, a patsy.
Oh, he's on to it?
No. Who's no one. Don't even think about him. He's no
All
one.
right. Well, what happened to him then?
It doesn't matter about him.
All
The
right, him.
explosion.
He's not a, okay, fine. It's an explosion. All right.
There's an explosion.
The Democrats and the Chinese shot a missile at a RV and in front of a fucking a tool store or whatever in Nashville.
Let me tell you, I didn't even get to the crazy part. Okay.
Oh, that's not the crazy part. All right, Terrence. All right, I'll let you keep talking. And
okay, so the AT&T building, right? That was partially exploded by this quote unquote explosion. Okay, this AT&T building was owned by the same company that owns. Have you heard of that?
Get the hell out of here!
You know about that?
Things.
I'm talking about Hugo Chavez, Joe Biden, Stop the Steal. I'm talking about
Hugo Chavez has been dead for 15 years, boy. I've got a much more important and pressing matter to discuss. So I've been listening to I've been listening to nothing but bad songs as a joke, and now I'm afraid that that I kind of like them. The biggest one, because I went back to the old times, to the olden days. See, to when we were young and idealistic. And I started listening, and I realized that I don't remember any Doobie Brothers songs. I don't know what they were, right? I don't like, because the joke was like, oh, that's my primary influence is the Doobie Brothers, but I don't know what their music sounds like, and So I went back and found out that that's the songs that's what their song. And
They had a very wide range,
yeah,
Like the early stuff's very different from the later stuff, and there's like a
yeah.
middle era too.
But the song "What a Fool Believes." You know the song I'm referring to?
Is that a later song?
It's like, yeah. It's
Yeah,
the Michael McDonald era.
yeah. I know that song.
Yeah. Well, I said long ago. I said I don't wanna hurt. Like, here's the thing, is
And
that
it's got like the like.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know how the verse of that song, you're like, you just mumble shit. You don't. It's like there's no words. Like it's like, what are the words, right? You don't know, right? So you're
Yeah.
like, okay, well this is like it's just it's nonsense, right? So then I looked up the words, and they are worse than I could have ever thought, right? Because
Oh,
the verse, this is the thing, is that the verse, it doesn't rhyme, right? It's rhythmically ridiculous, right?
yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, okay, so they must be saying something, right? It's like that's usually the case when the verses don't rhyme and they're rhythmically weird, right? It's like, oh, okay, it must be like a real poem or something, right? It's
Yeah.
it's fucking bananas. It's like the interpretations of it could be so vastly different, right? It's like on one end you could say like it's about like a one night stand, and like the guy thinks that the one night stand is more than it is, right? But you could also say that it is a song about a guy who thinks that he slept with a girl that he didn't sleep with. Okay. Then you could also say that it's the whole, like it's either that the whole thing is taking place in this man's mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's totally like not real, right? Or you could say that he's a fucking like a stalk. It's an ode to like a stalker, right? That like this girl's like, I don't know what the fuck, like I don't know what like. It's like, hold on, I'll pull it up. I gotta pull up the lyrics because
Okay.
they're so bad. They're so weird and bad that it was baffling to me because I was like, dude, I've been making fun of this song for years, right? Not even remembering that it was the Doobie Brothers just because of the Michael McDonald thing. But
Yeah.
what seriously, in my search bar, I just type in what, and then it's like, what a fool believes. This is what you've been doing for the last several days. All right. I'll just read it, okay? Because it's fucking
Just
awful.
give me the first verse.
He came from somewhere back in her long ago. The sentimental fool don't see trying hard to recreate what had yet to be created. Once in her life, she musters a smile for his nostalgic tale, never coming near what he wanted to say, only to realize it never really was. What the fuck does that mean? I defy you. Tell me what the fuck that means. my media conspiracy, okay? Because I'm not beyond that, right? I like, as a leftist, there are media conspiracies. I'm sure of it. Anybody who was a Bernie guy knows that sometimes they're out to get you. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you.
Right.
Truer words were never spoken. But here's the thing: is that in 2016, right, people that were older than me, right, were like, Donald, we can't. This country won't elect a clown like Donald Trump, right? People were saying things like that, right? They were laughing at Donald Trump, right? And I'm like, I'm like a third through this book, and the only thing, the thing that it's honestly, it's gonna make me wreck the car, is like, wait a minute, you motherfuckers lived through the election of Ronald fucking Reagan, and you're telling me that this country doesn't elect stupid clowns president of the United States? You were all there. Everybody that's over 50, everyone that was like, oh, I'm shocked, right? It's like, number one, I think that some of the people, right, like the more left leaning of the people that were shocked, right, were like kind of delusional, right? And some of them will even admit to it, right? They're like, well, yeah, I just like it was like, like your Sam Cedars, your Matt Taibbi's, right? They're like, yeah, I was just like, I just wasn't like I just wasn't believing my eyes, right? It was like, looking back on it, you could totally see how like Trump would get elected, right? But I just wasn't, my brain wasn't ready to like think that, right? But everybody else, right? Your mainstream media people, your Democratic apparatchiks, those folks absolutely should have known that this country is stupid enough to, after Ronald Reagan, all bets are off. They're all off. People still love that motherfucker. This doddering old moron who literally, like, he made his political bones by just constantly being like, yeah, no, I don't care about that, or I don't believe that. I think that America's a shining nation and all that fucking horseshit. After Watergate, Vietnam, and all this other shit, he just lived in a fantasy world and just projected that fantasy world into the future, right? And it's like, oh yeah, you mean like now? You mean like exactly what's happening right now, right? It's like this has all happened before. Every